Now, for all of the latest information on those severe storms that did lash parts of New South Wales, including the Sydney metropolitan area yesterday, we are now crossing live to SES Acting Deputy Commissioner Mark Morrow.
Mark, thank you very much for your time. We have heard that there were hundreds of call-outs across New South Wales to the SES yesterday. Were most of those call-outs due to trees coming down, or was it flooding that was the main concern?
Yeah, good morning, Tom and Emma. Look, most of it was for trees down. That storm crashed into Western Sydney yesterday afternoon. It was quite fierce. We saw some damage around commercial signage and the like out around Blacktown and Mount Druitt. We saw wires down as well, which resulted in power outages, but most of that damage was in relation to trees down with some water inundation into properties.
Yeah, we noticed that storm looked extremely intense going through Western Sydney yesterday. Now, the other problem was that the power was cut to a few thousands of properties. Any word on whether or not power has been restored?
Yeah, look, it was a pretty fierce storm and it was pretty spectacular out the window in Wollongong too, I can assure you. But we had around 33,000 people that were affected by power outages in the Sydney metropolitan area. The providers have been able to reduce that down to about 1,500 that are still waiting for restoration this morning.
Okay, Marky, thank you very much for your time. So I guess some good news for the SES in that we're not expecting storms to be as widespread today, although we're still going to get storms in the northern part of New South Wales. And for Queensland, well, the storm outbreak will just roll on over the next few days.
That's exactly right. With those humid conditions continuing, the instability is still there in Queensland. We are still expecting some heavy rain, though, particularly in the southeastern parts of New South Wales, showers right along the coast. But from those severe storms that we did see yesterday, we have seen some fairly spectacular images and vision coming in. Check out how much rain has fallen here. Flooding, cars are damaged in streets, Tom, causing absolute chaos.
Yeah, up to 30 millimetres fell in 1 hour through some western parts of Sydney yesterday. And I guess, Emma, one of the concerns is the ground is so saturated at the moment because we've had double the March rainfall that every time we get one of these storms, we are seeing the gutters overflowing pretty quickly. And certainly not just Sydney. We've had very heavy rain in Doblin, for example, on the western side of the ranges. They've now had nearly 200 millimetres already this month. That's 5 times the average. So any further rainfall over the next couple of weeks will easily lead to flash flooding, but also river flooding.
Well, that's not ideal. I mean, there's a good amount of rain, which I think we have had now, but we are kind of edging towards wanting that rain to stop.
I think so. The dams, Warragamba sitting on more than 90% capacity right now. So Sydney certainly doesn't need any more rain. Let's have a look at the forecast rain today. So there's still going to be rain over southeast New South Wales. It's just not storms. This is a separate weather system, a little upper low. Some good falls as well. You'll notice the red shading there. And there is storms through the central west of the state due to an inland trough. Already a warning for that area. And there'll be the odd storms through the northeast corner of New South Wales. Now, everyone wants to know, certainly my friends do, when's the rain going to clear up in Sydney? Let's take a look at the forecast rain over the next few days.
Well, by the looks of things, it is set to continue. We are expecting showers right along the New South Wales coast on Friday, even on Saturday as well. Sunday we should have a mostly dry start to the day though, right, Tom?
Doesn't look like it.
No?
So it could be some rain around. Well, perhaps...
Wishful thinking.
Look, I'll tell you what, for Saturday it will be a dry start to the day. So we've got 2 upper troughs moving through. One of them today, bringing the rain to southeast New South Wales. That will then probably clear up on Friday, but then rain will return as another upper trough moves in on Saturday for many eastern parts of New South Wales.
Right, so looking like a bit of a soggy weekend ahead, huh?
Another one, yes. How many's that in a row? 4?
I don't know, just add it to the list, huh?
I know Nippers has been cancelled a few times due to the polluted harbour.
I guess that's a little bit of good news for you. You can sleep in.
I don't get to sleep in, no. The children still wake up when it's raining.
Well, that's unfortunate for you, Tom. More coffee. Anyway, speaking of rainfall, we are about to get slammed in northern Queensland with some very heavy rain. We do have a tropical low sitting off the coast. It is deepening, and it is likely that it could develop into this first cyclone of the season, and in fact first cyclone in 2 years for Eastern Australia.
This is the big one, Emma. This is the one we've been waiting for. So we have a tropical low. It's forming. The ocean temperatures in the Coral Sea are about 2 degrees warmer than normal. So all the indications are signalling towards this system forming into a cyclone over the weekend. What you'll notice there on the synoptic chart is the isobars, how close they are together.
Like it's going to be a strong one.
It certainly could be, and we've got pretty good agreement now with all of our models that this system will form up off the tropical Queensland coast. The Bureau rate it as a moderate chance on Saturday. They only go out 3 days though. On Sunday, I would say it's probably a high chance of forming into a cyclone. And the models generally bring it towards the coast with a crossing possible anywhere between Sunday and around Tuesday. So it's too early to say exactly where and when this system would hit the coast. But I guess what's important, Emma, right now is there is a high potential of a major tropical cyclone at some point over the next week, hitting the very highly populated stretch of the tropical Queensland coast.
That could be devastating. Now, do stay tuned because we will, of course, keep you up to date with any developments on that potential cyclone in the east. But it's not just the east being slammed with some heavy rain. We've also got a tropical low in the west bringing some very heavy rain, flash flooding, river flooding to the Pilbara.
Yeah, so the cyclone watch has been cancelled for this area. So we're not expecting a cyclone now. However, tropical lows still bring heavy rain, as we've seen numerous times already this wet season through the northern part of WA. Port Helen's already picked up over 150 millimetres of rain just in the last 24 hours or so. I'll show you the radar actually from that area. You can see the rain spinning around clockwise around the centre, so it looks like a cyclone, just not of that intensity. The eye is still a couple hundred kilometres north of Port Hedland, but it's heading south. So we're expecting heavy rain to continue. We have a warning for flash flooding for the Pilbara. We have a flood watch. In fact, already minor flooding has developed through some rivers across the Pilbara, and even heavier rain is on the way with that system making landfall, or probably in the next 24 hours.
Now take care, flash flooding, river flooding. Remember, if it is flooded, forget it. Now stay with us, the 10-minute briefing. We'll be back in 60 seconds. We'll take a look at your